Cat, just warning, you're probably getting another
Put
company.
it in the USB.
In the USB?
Why not? No.
Wow.
Ain't sick.
Okay. So, okay guys, I know that I had both of you last year, and I'm gonna do a
Chicken.
Oh my God! Hello, my love. What are you doing? We're on 100. We're all the way up here, and you should be down here. What are you doing in my room, sweetheart? You're welcome to stay in here, but you know if you're in here, you have to do math, right? This isn't just a free space.
2 + 2 is 5, right?
No, sweetheart.
What do you need to be like?
Do you have a pass?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I'll apologize.
Great. Okay, so your teacher said you can be in here?
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to sit up front behind my friends, I have a page for you. But remember, like I said, this is a space where we do actually have to do work. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I know I had you guys last year. We're in a new fun space. We get to work with more of you at a time. Okay? I have PowerPoints. We're moving up in the world, you guys. Okay? So, our target skill of the day, we're going to work on very specific math skills, okay? And that's why I'm able to work with you guys in groups now, right? So the people that you see in this room with you, say hi to your friends, right? We all have the same thing that we need to work on. So, our target skill of the day is regrouping, all right? Does anyone want to take a stab at what regrouping is?
That mean, like, are we sitting in group right now with the change groups?
Yeah, basically, regrouping is a very literal word. Literal, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is regrouping means to arrange something into a new group or groups. In this context, because we're working with addition today, okay, regrouping means to regroup sums of numbers. Does anyone know what sum means?
That's all.
Yeah, total. It's the answer when you're adding numbers together. So it's regrouping sums of numbers into new groups. Does anyone have a guess of what I mean when I say groups for numbers? Any guess at all? It's kind of a funky concept.
You're taking numbers with the same characteristics?
Kind of. Okay, so I have a visualization for you guys. And it's kind of a funky concept, but regrouping for numbers is going to show up here. Since it's not working. Here's my laptop. So groups for numbers, I want you to think about it in terms of place value. Okay, those are our groups for numbers. So call out a place value, any of them that you can think of.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Tens.
5s.
Close. What's smaller than a 5?
2.
Smaller.
0.
Bigger.
1.5.
1. We're so close. I love all the guesses. Okay. So place values, our ones, our tens, our hundreds, right? Those are our groups for numbers. Okay. So we're going to start with this visualization right here. Okay. So we have 2 different colors. It doesn't exactly look like 2 different colors up here. We have purple and blue. Okay. What number is this? What does this represent? How many tens do we have?
2.
2. And how many ones?
5. No, 6.
6. So if I have 2 tens and 6 ones, what number is that?
26.
26. Beautiful. What number is this?
18.
11.
18. Close. Okay? So we're going to think about these in terms of their groups. All right? Our ones are our smallest place. So we're going to deal with our ones first. All right? We're adding these together. Okay? Because like I said, this is addition. All right? We'll start with these. This was how many ones right here?
8.
8. Okay? And then we're going to add these ones together. Because remember, we're regrouping. We're putting our place values together. All right? So we start with 8. We have 7. Wait, no. 9. 10. What do you notice about this?
The colors are different.
Other than the different colors, what do you notice about the group of ones that I just put together?
They match the first.
I made another group of 10s, right? So this group of ones, or what was in the ones group, is now in what group?
10.
A 10, right? We created another 10. Okay? So, then, we have these extra ones over here, which were 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these things have been regrouped, right? These numbers that were all separate have been regrouped into different things. So now we had 26 and 18 has now been regrouped into how many tens?
4.
4 tens and how many ones?
4.
4 ones. So 26 plus 18 has been regrouped into 4 tens, 4 ones, 44. Right? Does that make sense? Moving these groups around? Okay. So that's just how we want to think of things conceptually. All right? Okay, so this is how we visualize things, okay? This is the typical way that you're going to see things. All right? So, we're thinking about place value. All right, our problem here is 37 plus 25. All right? So personally, whenever I'm doing math problems, all right, I feel like whenever there's papers that our teachers give us, the print is so small, right? Always rewrite your problem. When you rewrite your problem, you want to make sure that your place values are lined up, okay? Think of this as a group, and this as your next group, okay? So, we have our ones and our tens. So let's add up our ones. What's 7 plus 5?
Oh, 12.
Yes,
Sorry.
12, okay? So, for 12, what's in the ones place?
2.
2. So our 2 goes here. What's in our tens place?
1.
A 1. So we need to add a 1 to our tens group. Okay? So, now let's add up our tens group. 1 plus 3,
4.
4 plus 2.
6.
Close, 6. Alright, so 37 plus 25 is 62. Alright, so you have worksheets already. This is independent work time. So how this works, I know you guys are familiar with this. I have the self-correction checklist, okay? This, I'm going to go around during independent time. I'm going to look at your questions that you're answering just to make sure that we're getting through all of those steps that we looked over. Because in order to get these questions right, in order to make sure we're on track, we need to be doing all of these steps, right? So, step 1, we're rewriting the problem, ensuring our proper place values are lined up with one another, right? That was the first thing I went over. 2, we're correctly adding digits together, okay? You can line stuff up all you want, but if you're not adding them up together correctly, you're never going to get the right answer. Properly carry over the correct digits. Carrying over is when we're putting them into those new groups. And making sure to include those new digits in a group when you're adding things up. Okay?
And scene. Snap it up from Miss Catalano.
Really good.
And we'll do the same. Any clarifying questions? And if not, jump into it was effective when?
Well, this is the, behavior part. It was effective how you just, you made sure I was in the right class first of all. And you killed the situation very quickly. And also, you put me in a position that you can monitor me. So I won't go in the back and act a fool. So you still keep an eye on me, make sure, you can see what I was doing, listen to me. And also, when I did look up the answer, wrong or right, you still just kind of kept my attention, but not saying, oh, you're wrong. Just saying almost, you're close, kind of guiding me. So that was really good.
Just so people know, this is an intervention thing, the self-correction checklist. It's just a way to log intervention correctly, and I was going to go into this is also like part of my incentive program. You go through and you look at their problems, you check off that they did all of the steps, because in theory if they did all of these steps they should be getting the question right. And then if they get an 80% or above, I have like a little incentive tracker and all that stuff. But this is like an intervention thing, that's why I have this.
What are your group sizes? Do you have?
Typically like 2 to 3 kids, which is why when he came in, like if I have a student burst in like that, they're not supposed to be in here. Or if I didn't go get them, they shouldn't be in here, which is why I'm like, do you have a pass? And also if you're in here, you have to do math. Like if your teacher sent you in here, you can't just like sit in the corner. So,
Yeah.
love the visualization, you know, having that picture in front of you, and how you explained that you're going to be checking as we worked, and you had a clear objectives slash criteria for success.
And I add to that, I thought that your visual model was very effective. You told us what regrouping was, and then you showed us what regrouping was, so it made it real sticky when we went into like the independent time. And also to add to that, this was actually a grow that I had, but then you just corrected it, that CFS. Like, what do you want to see when, because you were about to start the independent time, so naming what you wanted to see and giving us that CFS, that was effective.
It also felt super warm, just really positive the whole way through, lots of compliments. You kept firing questions at them, which I think was really good. It keeps them, because that means every step of the way you're checking that they're both making that progress. I thought that was really effective.
Moving into pushes.
Clarifying / push, do you have actual number blocks, physical ones?
Yeah, I do. I get that would just depend on, it depends on the kids
Yeah.
you're working with. Like Stuart Day,
Yeah.
like he wants to work with number blocks,
Uh-huh.
but like Jalea doesn't want to do that. So like she wants to do this. But I do have number blocks.
So one thing about that, I love the graph you showed. I was thinking though, like when you were like, how many ones do we have? It would have been great for me to be able to count. You could even have like in a packet for them, have the same thing you're projecting, so I can go 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're crossing out. Explicit directions on when to use the paper and how you want questions answered. So those were 2 things. Like the whole time you were going, I kept looking at my paper to see if it matched up. Whereas all you would have had to say is put that to the side. We're going to use that in a little